is Dimitri Lascaris reporting from Toronto, Canada for The Real News. As The Real News reported last week, a flotilla of ships has set sail from Copenhagen to the besieged and devastated Gaza Strip. The ships are carrying human rights activists from around the world. They are stopping at various European ports as they make their way toward the Eastern Mediterranean. Their goal is peaceful, to draw the attention of the world to an unlivable open-air prison in which 2 million Palestinians, one half of whom are children, are trapped. I will be joining the flotilla in late June to cover the voyage for The Real News, and in the interim, we will be speaking periodically to some of the activists who are taking part in this expedition. Today, we are joined by one of those activists, Charlie Andreasen. Charlie's from Sweden, and in 2012, he participated as a sailor on the Ship to Gaza Sweden mission, which traveled from Scandinavia to just 30 miles off the coast of Gaza before it was intercepted by the Israeli occupation Navy. He repeated the experience in 2015 aboard the Marianne, this time with an even rougher welcome. During the 2014 Israeli assault against Gaza, he worked with the International Solidarity Movement as a human shield. He published a book about his experiences called Diary from Gaza. He joins us today from Amsterdam, where his ship has just docked. Thank you for joining us, Charlie.
Thank you.
Charlie, could you talk to us about the 2 times that you previously attempted to break the blockade? How did the Israeli forces intercept your vessel, and how did they treat you and the other passengers?
They approached with military ships, surrounded us, quite big ships and smaller ships as well, speedboats. It looked quite ridiculous when they came with all the military units and for these small boats. However, they came on board with soldiers, full of mast, heavily armed, and they tried to get the way up to the wheel to take control of the ship. We all tried to stop them with our bodies, with non-violent resistance. And eventually that they used their taser guns frequently, took over the ship, took us all to Ashdod, interrogation, and then prison. However, how many times they're going to use the taser guns and how bad they treated us is nothing compared to how they're treating the Palestinians every single day.
And when the ships were intercepted on those 2 attempts, were the ships in international waters? And if so, could you talk to us about the legality of intercepting these ships on international waters?
Yeah, they were on international water, which is a violation of the maritime law and violation of the international law. There's no question about that. However, everything that Israel seems to do is they can do with impunity. The world doesn't seem to care too much about it, and that's why they are doing what they're doing on international water.
What are the conditions like on the vessel that you are currently traveling on, and what is the mood of your fellow passengers?
This time we're going to have 4 ships, quite small ships, however, and the cargo is the boat itself. This boat on Alavda is a tall fishing boat. It can easily be transported to a trawler again. And as a gift to the Fishermen Union, the fishermen in Gaza get an attack on their own waters on a daily basis. So this boat can be a new asset for them, as sure as needed. So this is the main cargo we're carrying, except for the Solidarity.
And could you talk to us a bit about the more notable of your experiences when you acted as a human shield against Israel's assault on Gaza in 2014?
As you said before, I've been in Gaza for a year working with the International Solidarity Movement. And then the war came, the Operation Protective Edge. And we continue our work as human shield in civilian hospitals and try to save as many hospitals as possible, the building itself, the patients, the staff, and so on. And by doing so, we also were like a magnet for international journalists. So they actually came and saw by themselves that that was civilian installation and nothing but civilian installation. Attacking hospitals, civilian hospitals, is a violation of the Geneva Convention. However, then again, the world community doesn't seem to care when Israel is violating the international rights. So anyway, there was an experience that I don't hope anybody have to go through. But since I was there, I couldn't leave the people behind when they needed you as most. Just had to do it.
And what do you hope to achieve by this most recent attempt to break the blockade?
the best thing that can happen, or well, the best thing that we can achieve is to raise awareness around the world and put pressure on the Western governments so they actually take the responsibility to make whatever they can to end Israel's siege or blockade of Gaza. If nobody gonna stop Israel for doing this crime, the daily crime they're doing, they're gonna be an open field for other countries, democratic or not democratic, to do exactly the same thing as Israel does.
Well, we've been speaking to Swedish human rights activist Charlie Andreasen, a passenger on the Freedom Flotilla to Gaza. Thank you very much for joining us today, Charlie.
Thank you.
And this is Dimitri Lascaris reporting from Toronto, Canada for The Real News.